Howdy everybody, Shit here. Do those crazy Omen highlights make you wish that you could play like that? Well, now you can. I'm going to show you some tips and tricks to help you use Omen to be a playmaker that he was meant to be, and that's starting right now. Before we get into it, make sure to drop a comment below and tell me what you want me to highlight in future videos. Remember to like, subscribe, and click the bell and make sure that you don't miss any upcoming content. I stream every Tuesday and Wednesday from 7 to 9 Pacific if you want to come by and chat and hang. With all that out of the way, let's jump right in. Omen is labeled as a controller, but don't let that fool you into thinking that that's all he's good for. Omen is an extremely versatile agent, and you can use him to fill many roles for your team with his abilities. Omen's abilities allow your team quick entries or aggressive retakes through the use of smokes and blinds, and shines as an aggressive support player, even more so when you have other smokers on your team. Omen also fills the lurker role pretty well, seeing how his smokes can be placed anywhere to help the team wherever he's at, and he has decent retreat abilities if caught in a firefight that you can't handle. Omen is an extremely interesting agent to play with great depth of play available through his abilities while staying comfortable to play for new and veteran players alike. Now for the abilities, how they work, and when you might want to use them in the heat of the moment. When you hit Q as Omen, you'll equip a shadow projectile that when fired will briefly reduce the sight of anyone that it hits. You can also fire this through any obstacle in front of you, so don't worry about those walls. You can see where and how far ahead of you the blind will travel on your minimap, so make sure to double check that before letting the blinds fly. It's important to note that this blind also affects your team, so make sure not to catch anyone within its path, as you can very quickly cause someone to be killed. When I use this ability, I like to use it a couple different ways. I like to use it when moving quickly onto a site, as you can blind a large portion of the area that allows your team a quick entry. Or, I will use it as a deterrent and toss it at a flank that I hear enemies coming from. Doing this will almost always stop the opposing team from advancing, as they most certainly would be moving towards a quick death. Omen's signature ability is his dark cover. You get 2 charges of this each round, and they are on a 35-second recharge for each one. Hitting E will equip a shadow orb, and you will immediately see its range indicator. You can then fire to move the indicator closer, or hold alternate fire to move the marker farther away. Hitting R will change the view from the shadow realm into normal view. Hitting the ability key again will then fire the orb at the designated location, creating a long-lasting sphere that blocks vision. These orbs last for 12 seconds, which is just shorter than Brimstone's, but due to that recharge time, you have about 4 of these to use per round instead of Brim only having 3. You can use these smokes to fake a push and distract from your actual plan, or to cover key sight lines when trying to get a quick spike plant. Make sure you use these each round, as they're free and a very powerful tool to aid you and your team in almost any situation. Now for the ability that makes Omen a little bit different, his ability to teleport. Hitting C will equip a shadow walk ability and immediately show you its range indicator. Fire to begin a brief 1-second channel that will then teleport you to the marked location. Upon teleporting, you'll be vulnerable for 0.75 seconds while reforming, so please keep that in mind when thinking that you may get a quick getaway. This ability is particularly useful if you are in a situation where you want to get from low to high ground or crossing sightlines unseen. One of my favorite ways to use this ability is to jump from one side of an opening to the other and catch a greedy attacker peeking me the wrong way when they come to challenge me. Omen's ultimate ability will allow you to teleport anywhere on the map, which can be exactly what you need for a quick rotation or catching the enemy off guard for an awesome retake. Hitting X when ready will equip a tactical map, then selecting the location that you want to teleport to by clicking the fire button will begin teleporting you to the selected location. While teleporting, Omen will appear as the shade at the location for 2.5 seconds. The shade can be killed, and that will cancel his teleport. You can also cancel the teleport yourself by hitting the ability key a second time. This can be good if you just want to scout out a location, or to fake a teleport and try to juke your opponents into thinking that you're somewhere that you're not. It's important to note that you can hear a sound cue for this ability much like any other ultimate across the entire map, so many players will know to check their flanks when you use this ability. Using Omen's ultimate, I like to teleport into locations that are advantageous immediately off the start of a round. This will allow me to try to get those aggressive kills immediately so I can start a plan. but you can't argue with how much fun it is to rush A on Haven and then make a quick teleport to C for that awesome plan. Omen is an agent with deep gameplay mechanics, but coupled with his simple to understand abilities, this creates a perfect storm that offers systemic play for skilled veterans while not being overly complex and scaring away new players. Learning when and where to use Omen's abilities will take time, and a high level of game sense is important for this. But when you start to chain together your abilities and pull off those awesome plays, he can be one of the most gratifying agents to play. Thank you all again for tuning in and watching these videos. I hope there was something in here that you found useful. Make sure you like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when next week's videos and others go live. Drop me a comment below and let me know what topics you want me to dig into next. See you all Tuesday and Wednesday over on Twitch, and maybe we can play a couple of games. See you all next week. It's been real, everybody. Until next time, stay Valorant. Omen is gonna be like heaven.